30 minutes. That's a lot of time. Start. Okay, thank you for being here so early in this morning. I just found out that I should give this talk in English, so sorry in advance. Well, we are here to speak about the AI apocalypse. It is already happening. It is inevitable. It seems to be inevitable. We are already in the middle of it. The robots, the AI is going to conquer us. It's going to slave us. It's happening. There is no way out. So that's the message of this panel. I'm really sorry to give you this terrible news, but it is already happening. It is not happening in the area of the robotics. You know, we have learned a lot from the movies about how this apocalypse is going to happen. So let's speak about how the movies show this apocalypse happening. Okay, we have the presentation in Spanish. Sorry. We have 4 phases of the AI, you know, in the movies. The first one is, have you seen iRobot or 2001, Space Odyssey? In those movies, we can see an AI that has been trained to protect the humans. Yes? Yeah. We have read in Asimov's books about the laws of robotics, in which there are 3 laws of robotics. The robot should not hurt a human by action or inaction. A robot should follow the instructions of a human if this instruction doesn't mess out with the first rule. And a robot should keep himself from not being hurt if this doesn't go against the second or the first rule. In a moment, in any given moment, the robot will start thinking that the human is hurting himself. So in order to protect humanity, the robot is going to take possession of the humanity. So it's going to conquer humans. That's the first scenario of the apocalypse. The second scenario is Matrix. In Matrix, AI is good, it's amazing, it's thriving, but we got scared about that. So we decided to move all the AI to a country in Eastern Europe. Basically, we give them a country in Eastern Europe so they can thrive alone without messing with us. But they built a very effective production system. Everything is amazing, so we're scared. So we decide to create this operation that is called Black Storm, in which we send black clouds to cover the sun so they don't have energy. The robots, without energy, they cannot survive, so they decide to use us as batteries. So they conquer us, they use us as batteries, but they discover that we die. If they take the energy from us, we die. So they give us content, a lot of content. They put this cable here, and they show us content all the time, all the time, all the time. That's the second scenario. The third scenario is Terminator. In Terminator, somebody has the great idea of connecting North America atomic bombs and missiles and everything, all the defensive system of USA, to an AI, to a Skynet. Some days later, Skynet, this word is, I'm used to give this conference in Spanish, gets like self-consciousness, something like that, self-consciousness, that's the word. So we got scared and we decided to turn off Skynet, but Skynet is in control of the missiles, so they throw the missiles against us, so they destroy the human civilization. That's the third scenario. The fourth scenario is Wall-E. Here, it seems a nice guy, but this is after the apocalypse. You know, Wall-E came after the apocalypse. We as a civilization, we ruined the Earth. We ruined the Earth by consuming a lot. We throw a lot of garbage on top of the Earth, so the air turns inhabitable. So all the humans go in a ship to the space, while robots like Wall-E are cleaning the Earth. Wall-E is in love with the human being, but he is in love with not the digital part of the human being, but the analogic part of the human being. He's in love, he's melancholic, he's in love with VHS, he's in love with the lighter, with electric bulbs. You know, he's in love with such lovely things that human has created. Yeah, but this is post-apocalyptic. You know, we are in the space, we are in control, by AIs in the space. We are consuming content. I think that maybe Wall-E is the most similar scenario of what we are living today. Yes? And something that we have learned from Terminator is the paradigm of the 24 days. It took 24 days to Skynet to get self-consciousness. It has been turned on August 4, 1997, and it got self-consciousness 24 days later, on August 29th. So this goes very fast. This goes very fast. In the moment that we got conquered by the robots, by the AI, look back 24 days, and you will see that nothing was happening. So take care of the timing here, because it learns very fast and goes very fast. But what we've seen in these movies is that AI has conquered us using robots. You know, the robots come here and conquer the human, or they throw missiles, or whatever. But I think that the real battle is in the digital space. We as humans, in the last 20 years, we got into the digital space. This is not our space. It's like going to the water and fighting a dolphin. That's a bad idea. The dolphin is going to win because that's his space, his living space. Well, we are diving into the digital waves. And there, in the digital world, the one that's dominating the battle is artificial intelligence, for sure. So this is probably a scenario in the next 10 years. You know, the AI has replaced us in many works, but there is still money because the AI has made the production lines more effective, so everything is happening really good. There's a good scenario. We need to work only 2 hours a day, maybe, or 2 days a week, or something like that. And what we do when we have free time, we have learned that in the pandemic. Do you remember? We watch content, basically. If we have free time, we watch content. So, a day in a life in the future. After working 2 hours, we wait in our homes, we put our virtual reality helmet made by Meta. Meta, in the last, I think, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, they told us, if you don't remove all your pictures from Instagram, we are going to use them to train our AI. No one has removed anything from Instagram, so they have our face, they have our videos, they have our contacts, they have our family, everything. They use that to train their AI. So they easily can create content for us in which our family appears or wherever. And they have tools to check our engagement with the content. They can see, for example, the dilation of our pupils, our heart rate. You know, the last Meta and Ray-Ban lenses, they have a bracelet here that can control your heart rate or wherever, so they know everything about you. So in the moment they are seeing that you are living the content, that you are, you know, not engaged with the content, they can put your mother in the content or something like that. They can engage you and engage you and engage you, which is what these companies need. You staying on their networks, you being more predictable, yes, so they can make more money, basically. Today, the AIs are being built by those huge companies, which are more powerful than the governments. So this is probably a real scenario in the next 5 years. But this is not something that is going to start in 5 years. This is something that already started like 15 years ago, when we gave power to the algorithm. The first battle that the AI won over us was the battle for our attention. It happened 15 years ago when everything we started to consume, all the content that we started to consume, left data behind, you know? After consuming a movie on Netflix or after watching a video on Instagram or wherever, you are leaving information for those companies. On how did you consume that, about your habits, on how we consume content. So they can learn and they can give more improved content to engage us more and more and more and more. There is no more good or bad content, even not in Netflix. and streaming platform. There is not good and bad content. There is not content that makes you think. There is no content that makes you cry. There is effective or non-effective content. You know, and AI can measure that easily, if the content was effective or not effective. And it tends to be more and more and more and more effective. And the worst of all the algorithm is the TikTok algorithm. You know, the swipe up algorithm, which leads you to this sesgo de confirmación, which somebody needs to tell me how to say that in English. Sesgo de confirmación. Confirmation bias, thank you. You know, it's content that confirms your identity. It doesn't fight with your identity. It doesn't give you an idea that is different than yours ideas. The content confirms your identity. It's content for you. It says content for you, and it's really content for you. You swipe up, and you watch content here that goes like this, like this, like this. In the moment the content goes here, you can swipe up, so you can put the algorithm back on track and give you content here, 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 here. Those movies, when you went to the cinema and you watch those movies that make you think all the week and make you recalculate your life all the week, those movies came here, not here. They are unpredictable. That you didn't see it coming. And there are generations that are not used to that kind of content anymore. They only want content that confirms their identity, this confirmation bias. I call this the generation swipe up. In the first 3 seconds, they know if this content is good for them or not. It's easy. It's easy to leave away the content that they are not curious about this. They don't even give the content like a minute, only 3 seconds. That's the rule. But this generation is suffering from the highest levels of anxiety, depression, and the highest levels of suicide rates in the history. That's true. And the two peaks, the most remarkable peaks in this curve that is going like this, were in the 2008, when iPhone put the front camera and selfies started, and 2012, when Meta bought Instagram. Another problem here is the carbon footprint. You know, AI needs a lot of electricity, And we are not prepared for that. We need to build a lot of new power plants in the next 5, 10 years, a lot. People think about nuclear power plants, but we are still using fossil. I really thought about this panel, about speaking about the AI apocalypse, when Bill Gates, who is the founder of Microsoft, and he is one of the biggest stakeholders of Microsoft, he was speaking in the last 10 years that we need to go to zero on carbon footprint for the 2030. If we didn't go to zero, the damage to the Earth is going to be irreversible. Last year, Bill Gates said, we have another 15 years. So it's not anymore 2030, now it's 2045. You know that Bill Gates said that he understands that AI could bring a lot of solutions to that problem. So I think that's the end of the world. Carbon footprint, we ruin the Earth, so the AI came to us, control us, and save us from the apocalypse that we are creating. So there are 2 scenarios possible, or Matrix or Terminator. Either the AI uses us as batteries, or completely kill us. That's the 2 possible scenarios in the current situation, right? But there is a way of getting out of these future scenarios. There are 2 ways, basically. The first one is leaving the digital world behind and only consuming content that is on vinyls or cassettes or whatever, but not going to consume digital content, which is content that the algorithm suggests to you. So you can go and read a book or go to a museum, but leave your digital life behind. Or you go to a more responsible digital life, which is where Web3 comes. I know that everybody here knows approximately what a Web3 is. Web 1 was the first web in the 1995, where we went to grab content from huge outlets of content like portals or newspapers or even Netflix is Web 1. In the Web 2, we went to the networks to watch the content that was created by our equals, by our friends, family, or whoever. That's the Web 2. The Web 2 was the big problem here because the Web 2 was totally intermediated by huge companies. So every time that you consume a content, you are leaving information to Netflix, to Meta, to Google, wherever. Everything you do there is leaving information for them to make you more to help them make you more predictable, basically. And the Web 3 is not the continuation of the Web 1 and Web 2. It's not like Rocky, in which you need to understand who is Apollo Creed and all the story of Rocky. The Web 3 goes in another lane. It's totally different. It's like the more responsible web, a web in which we are in control of everything, of our connections, of the way that we consume content, of the content that we produce. Everything is ours, but it's our responsibility. Web 3 is a superpower, and all the superpower came with a great responsibility. In the Web 3, there is a change of paradigm from competition to collaboration. Right now, the huge problem with AI is that everyone is competing to being the first to generate the AGI or the first to grab 1 million users or whatever. Everybody's competing. But even in the fact that all the companies are talking together to think about the future with AI, if they decide to stop, China will go on. So it's virtually impossible to stop this competition right now, and we don't know where it's going to. Yes, we know, to the human annihilation, for sure. Something very important about the Web3 is the sovereign digital identity, in which you control everything, in which you control your identity, you control your actions, you control your interactions. You know, there is a great metaphor in which when you go dancing and the guy in the front door of the place asks you for documents, and you show them your document, you are showing them not only that you are older than 18 years, but you are also showing him your name, your family name, your age, maybe your address or whatever. This is Web3. In Web3, you can connect using your wallet, and you can prove that you own something, or that you are somebody, or that you have some digital asset that lets you connect to this website, and that's it. You don't need not even to show your name. And that's very important in these digital ages. A responsible consume of digital content. That's important because we never learned about how to be responsible on the internet, on the digital universe. I know that everyone here, it happens to you that you are suddenly watching Instagram. That's because we never learned how to use those tools. Or maybe you go 100 million times a day to check emails, or maybe you let WhatsApp to ring on every message, so you are in a real conversation, but something is here ringing or buzzing, and your attention is not here, it's not there. Okay, we need to learn how to be more responsible. And the Web3 brings you tools to do that. That's where we came out with 10 years ago with Flixo. Flixo is our streaming platform, in which we decide to create a tool to give back power to creators. We have seen that in the future this is going to happen, that creators were losing control. There is no more the idea of a creator telling a story because he wants to tell the story, because it's here in their hearts, because they go to a platform, they say, I want to tell this story, and the platform checks if the algorithm needs this story. If doesn't, the creator lives away. So the creator needs to adapt to the algorithm. That's the problem right now. It's happening right now. There is no more independent content. It's only mainstream content. It's content, effective content. So we decided to create this platform in which all the distribution was decentralized using BitTorrent, and all the payments were decentralized using blockchain. Basically, that was the initial idea of Flixo. We have developed tools for crowdfunding. Also, Flixo started with a crowdfunding, with an ICO back in 2017, but we use those tools also for crowdfunding movies, which is the best way for a creator to tell a story freely. You know, this Thursday opens here a movie called The Death of a Comedian. And that movie has 10,190 producers. I've seen the movie. It's a very special movie. It's a movie that it is impossible that this movie exists if it was not supported by a community. You know, the creator, who is Diego Peretti, has the freedom to tell the story he wanted to tell in the way he wanted to tell the story. Probably there is no platform that is going to buy this content because it's very special, it's very unique. But this content exists, it's on cinemas, and it's going to have some life in the commercial circuit. So we also created a Ticket 3.0. Ticket 3.0 is basically an NFT that lets you get, you can use that NFT on your wallet to connect to the platform and show that you have that NFT, and it lets you watch all the content. Maybe if you are one of the producers, you can see the content exclusively here after watching it on cinemas or wherever. We have the experience of a movie called Bull Run, that was a Spanish movie that was financed by its community, and everybody received a token. So we opened the movie in Flixo 3 months before it has opened on Amazon Prime. So all the people that participated were able to get into the platform and watch the content using Web3 tools. Yes, and everybody that invested in the movie also received 50 tickets so they can share with friends and family, and they can get into this movie. And after watching the movie, they can even give away the ticket or sell the ticket or wherever. So anyone that has the ticket can get into the platform and watch it. Also, everybody in these conferences, we always hear somebody protesting about the electricity consumed of Bitcoin. In the past also of Ethereum, not now. But no one speaks about the electricity consumption of streaming. And streaming consumes up to 3% of all the produced electricity of the world. And no one speaks about that. And streaming is one of the few industries that year by year elevates the carbon footprint. They don't improve it, they worsen it. But no one speaks about that. We have proof that using BitTorrent or any kind of distributed system to share content, you can reduce the electricity consumption of a platform up to 95%. But the problem is that when you are decentralizing something, someone is losing power. So Apple didn't let us have this kind of technology on the app in the store. We even showed them a lot of information. We hired people from ecologist associations to create this paper that shows everything. And Apple decided not to let us use that kind of technology on our platform because they didn't want to set the precedent. Tuku. So Web3 is not only about technology, it's about culture. You know, there is a lot of people that is already hoping for a more free life on the digital universe, people that is creating the movies like Death of a Comedian without using technology. They didn't use Web3. They didn't use a token or whatever, but they used another kind of technology. They did like Zooms, calls with 10,000 producers. They let the producers choose the protagonic couple of a movie or wherever. They didn't need to use Web3. They have a Web3 culture. You know, there are creators that are tired of the algorithm of the platform, so they are starting to use Patreon to grab money from their fans to create community and create content that is exclusively from them. It is already happening, and they are not using Web3 tools. So everything is more a cultural movement that is changing everything, and the technology came before that to give more power to this movement. So there is a way of changing the future. Maybe AI is going to be a great tool for us to create a better world, to create more and better content. But I think that the career here, or the competition of the self-consciousness of the AI is also a competition with us for our self-consciousness. Who is going to be more self-consciousness first? The AI of us or us? That's the question that I want to think about. Okay, thank you.